Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Pub Trivia Experience. My name is Chris, and we are back for episode 4 of the Trivial Trials of one Michael J. Mott. I don't know if J is your middle initial. You seem like a J.
I'm an I, so close enough.
That's okay. I honestly thought his middle initial was J as well.
The J is the junior.
Okay. Mimja.
Don't confuse me with Ninja. We all see him.
Ninja the ninja.
He's a bad ninja. All right. Well, we are here for the trials of Mike Mott. And joining us today, all the way out on the West Coast, Ashok, my friend, how are you doing? What are you sipping tonight?
I am doing well. I am actually not allowed to drink alcohol right now because I'm supposed to be on pain meds. So I am drinking really good chai tea to go with my night.
There you go. No shame in that.
No, not at all.
No shame in that. Mike, over to you. What are you sipping on tonight and how you doing?
Chris, I'm doing really well. It's been kind of a crazy day, but I was around about 5 o'clock today. I was like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna make it through trivia tonight. I was just like dead to the world. I think that was due to the day drinking. I cannot do that very often anymore at my age, but a cup of coffee got me through that, and now I'm here and I'm happy to be here. And of course, I have brought a beer because night drinking is much more common these days, mostly during recordings. But my beer fridge is starting to be a little lacking, but I pretty much always have some Monkey Knot India Pale Ale out of Straight to Ale Brewing in my fridge. It's either that or the Stout at the Devil, which are their two kind of signature beers and two very excellent beers. But it's a little warm for a Stout at the Devil, so Monkey Knot it is. Cheers.
I'll drink to that. I'm trying like hell to find out what brewery puts this out.
Oh, that really hits the spot right now, man.
Oh, wow. Okay. I just thought this was a German style Pilsner. It's actually from Germany. It's a Warnsgrüner Pilsner. I went to Aldi and they had a 4-pack of these for $5. I'm like, you know what? Sold. I threw it in the cart without thinking about it. Pilsner's a good day drinking beer, so.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big-ass pint can.
Nice.
And to be clear, when I say day drinking these days, for me, that means I had 2 beers with lunch.
Yes.
And that was enough to knock me out until I had a cup of coffee with dinner to get me back going.
To be frank, I'm at that age where I don't think I could handle that.
Right. All right. You can be Frank, but I'll still be Mike.
Oh, my God. Datacorns 2.0 right here.
Yes, sir.
Ashok, you and Mike go back a long, long time. Everyone's heard Mike talk enough on this show, so tell our listeners your opinion on the hit new band, the Datacorns.
Well, in my opinion, it is the best band that you've never heard of. So the three of us who are the Datacorns, it's Mike, as you know from today's episode, Jeff, who you probably know from previous and will know from future episodes, and myself. We are 3 buddies from high school, so we've known each other now going on a quarter century, which means we're freaking old. But, you know, we do songs about parenting by parents for parents. We put out a record at the end of last year called Sanity is Waning, a 6-song EP of original music. We are in the process of getting more music put together, which we will announce when that's going to be recorded and put together at a later point. But we're pretty excited about the music. It's a lot of fun. It's a mixture of serious and kind of goofy and just all the funs of parenting, along with some of the puns that go along with, you know, being a dad.
Love it. And you have another little project you're working on that we're going to touch on here just a little bit later on in this recording, but something that Mike and I kind of gave our lended our ears to. I can't talk today. I've been drinking. Something that I am personally very excited about. So, before we get into that, let's get right into the game. We're going to start with your pregame.
Let's do it.
Your pregame category is Major League Baseball.
Just give the points to Mike now.
On this one.
So, Ashok, you're the newbie here. Do you want odds or evens?
I'll take evens.
Mike, you are odd. We are going to start with you. Mike, 32 Major League Baseball players have amassed 3,000 or more hits in their memorable careers. And hopefully one day soon, all 32 will be enshrined in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. Are these iconic players in the top 10 for most hits ever in the major leagues?
Ooh, okay. So it's not just have they broken a 3,000. It's okay.
Mike, you have the odds. We're going to start with you. You get Tris Speaker.
Oof. Tris Speaker had a ton of hits. Would he really be top 10? Would you bring up Tris Speaker if he wasn't in that top 10 though? Game theorying this one. I'm going to say yes.
Yes is a correct answer. Tris Speaker ended his career with 3,514 hits. That places him at number 5 on the list.
Okay.
Ashok, you get Orioles legend Eddie Murray.
That's not the Oriole legend I know.
Yeah.
Eddie Murray. I'm going to say no, just to be different from what Mike said for the last one.
Eddie Murray finished his career with 3,255 hits, good enough for 13th all time.
Yes.
Nicely done. 1 for 1 each. Mike, you get Cardinals legend Albert Pujols.
Ooh. I don't think there's... he played for forever. Let's see. Speaker was number 5 at 3,500. There's no way Pujols got that many hits, was it? I'm going to say no.
Albert Pujols finished his career 3,319 hits. Puts him at number 9.
Yeah, I was going to say that's going to be close to that top 10. Yep. All right.
All right.
I figured he'd be a little bit more than Murray, so I was right, but okay.
Ashok, you're going to get Milwaukee Brewer Hall of Famer Paul Molitor.
Oh. Oddly enough, when I collected baseball cards, I had his baseball card. He was one of 10 baseball cards I collected in my entire lifetime. And
Often forgotten about player.
Yes, and Mike knows that I don't care for baseball. So, Paul Molitor. I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark and say yes.
Paul Molitor, 3,319 hits. That puts him at 10th. Yes is a correct answer.
Wait, he and Pujols had the same number of hits in their career? That's awesome.
Sorry, Albert Pujols, 3,384. I apologize. I gave the wrong number.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because he had just said that for Pujols.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh.
I'm going down a list here, and I'll be honest with you.
You're good.
You're good. You're good. I just thought
Probably
it was a cool
your first beverage
coincidence.
of the night. Yeah, I was going to say.
I just thought it was a
He
cool
holds up 2
coincidence
empty
they ended
wine
with the same
bottles.
number of hits.
Actually, these were both 3/4 empty, so I just went from white to red before we
Fair
recorded.
So you drank a rosé. Nothing wrong with that.
Did you mix them in your mouth like Jay Borsum?
No, I'm not crazy
with the rum
like
and the
Jay
coke?
Borsum.
She does that. I think that's so
She
funny.
does that, and that's crazy. All right.
You monster,
Ashok, you're
Mike.
up
You mix
2-1.
them in a glass and then you drink it. Pinky up.
I like that idea. Class it up a little bit, Mike. Come on. Doesn't our listener deserve that?
I mean, it is Mike.
Yeah.
You've met me. Class is not generally associated with me. The only reason Ashok associates me with class is because we had a few of them together in high school.
Yep.
Did you actually go, though?
Yeah. Mike is actually in class.
That explains the Vanderbilt thing. Okay, I see where I go wrong. I went wrong in hindsight. We're moving on. Mike,
Yes.
you get Twins legend Dave Winfield.
There's Dave Winfield played for several teams. It was when you said Twins legend. I was not expecting Dave Winfield. I mean, he did play for the Twins.
I know. I my baseball cards are always some of the Twins. I know he played for the Yankees and the West Coast team. I don't remember which one it was.
There is no way Dave Winfield has more hits in his career than Albert Pujols. So I'm going to say no.
That's a correct answer. 3,110 hits. Winfield is at number 23. Ashok.
Yes,
You
sir.
get Yankees legend Derek Jeter.
Oh, goodness. That man played baseball forever. He's got to be up in the top 10. I'm going to say yes for Derek Jeter.
Yes is a correct answer. As much flack as people give Jeter, Jeter is the number 6 all-time hits leader, 3,465 hits.
I remember watching his 3,000th. It was, if memory serves, it was a home run off David Price.
I believe so.
Was that against Boston?
No, it was. He was still with the Rays at the time.
Okay.
Mike, you get Minnesota Twins legend Rod Carew. That's what we call a callback.
He converted. Carew's another one. He's a great player. I find it hard to believe he would have cracked the top 10. So I'm going to say no.
No is a correct answer. 3,053 hits put him at 27th all time.
Mm.
Ashok, going back to you. Braves legend Hank Aaron.
Oh, come on. Hank Aaron has to have up the top 10. He's a definite yes. He is
a definite yes. Number 3 all time, 3,771 hits.
Nice.
I can name the 2 that are above him.
I can too. Let's see if they're on this list. Mike, number 9, over to you. Carl Yastrzemski.
I was fully expecting you to say Minnesota Twins legend Kirby Puckett. Well, I don't know if Kirby cracked 3,000.
He did
anyway,
not.
I didn't think so. Anyway, we're talking about Yaz. Yes, his whose son played at Vanderbilt.
Oh my gosh.
Was he a spaz? Because it would have been Yaz the spaz.
Yastrzemski, I'm gonna put him between Winfield and Murray. I don't think he quite cracked the top 10, so I'm gonna say no.
Yastrzemski, 3,419 hits,
shit.
8th on the list.
Yep. Okay.
Ashok,
Yes,
for someone
sir.
who doesn't like baseball, you're in danger of going 5 for 5.
Dear Lord, what the hell?
Number 10. Giants legend Willie Mays.
We've already hit 5 or 6 of the top. I'm going to say yes and think I might be wrong. I'm going to say yes anyway.
Willie Mays is a no. Number 12, 3,283 hits. While he was and still is one of the best players of all time, not quite up there.
Fair enough.
All right. Ashok's coming out with 4 points. Mike, you're coming out with 3 as we head into the main game. Hot seat round 1. Mike, you are currently trailing, so you get to pick. Do you want to go first or second in hot seat round 1?
I'm gonna go first.
All right. Mike is elected to go first. I have 15 minutes on the clock. Your time will begin after I read your first question. Gentlemen, are we ready?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right. Here we go. Mike, which Weird Al tune, a parody of the rap lyric Riding Dirty, ranked number 9 in the Billboard Top 100 in 2006?
One of my life goals is to perfect this song and do it at karaoke. White and Nerdy.
White and Nerdy is a correct answer. Ashok, go ahead. Make my day is a famous quote from which character in the film Sudden Impact?
Oh, God. I know the actor. I don't know the character's name. I have no idea. I got nothing because I've never seen the movie.
You feel lucky, punk. Be Dirty Harry.
Ugh.
That's you're supposed to always trip them up by making them name the movie because everyone then says Dirty Harry and it's wrong.
I know. I didn't want to go that route.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Mike, Bob Geldof, known for his humanitarian work with the charity Band-Aid, first became famous as a lead singer of what band?
I knew you were I knew that was where you were going. Geldof. Oh shit. What was the Damn it. I always forget what band he was with because I remember it's always like, oh, Bob Geldof was it that band? I forgot. But I don't have it. I'm going to know it when you say it.
That'd be the Boomtown Rats.
That's right.
Ashok, what man in both literary and film form was the man in bronze in a novel by Lester Dent and in a 1975 film starring Ron Ely?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question one more time? I lost part of it.
What man in both literary and film form was known as the Man of Bronze? It was in a Lester Dent novel in a 1975 film starring Ron Ely.
Oh, it's Doc something. Doc, it's like, I think it's Doc Savage, I think.
Doc Savage is a correct answer.
Wow, that's a hell of a pull. I had no clue what that was.
I'd seen or I'd heard of the Man of Bronze. I actually ended up in a really random conversation about it like a couple months ago, and it was Doc, and then we ended up talking about Dan Savage, and so I had the Savage. I was like, which one is it? So
Gotcha.
I mean, I was hoping you went Doc McStuffins. Mike.
That's what I was thinking too.
Mike, what stringed musical instrument is found on many Irish coins?
What stringed musical instrument is found on many Irish coins?
It's the strings that play the people who do the Irish step dancing.
Well, I honestly don't know a fiddle.
Unfortunately, not. It'd be a harp.
Ah,
I would have guessed a lute. So you
I
and
almost
would
guessed lute, but
that lute was what I was going to go for.
Ashok, what color is an octopus's blood? Black, blue, or clear?
Is blue.
It is blue. Nicely done. Mike, what hairstyle, popular in the 1960s, was maintained with the use of a pick?
Afro.
Afro is a correct answer.
It's what I got
Associate
going
that
right now.
exclusively with the '60s, but okay.
Ashok, what 1956 Broadway production was about Eliza Doolittle, a Cockney flower girl who took speech lessons from Professor Henry Higgins?
Okay, it is one of the only musicals I like. It is My Fair Lady.
It is My Fair Lady. Nicely done. By the way, your taste in musicals sucks.
Yeah,
Mike.
That's why I don't like musicals. They bother me.
I have a list. We'll talk later.
Fine.
Mike, the 2011 reality show La La's Full Court Life follows the former VJ in her marriage to what NBA player and former number 3 pick out of Syracuse?
wasn't that Scottie Pippen?
No, it would be Carmelo Anthony.
Oh shit, that's it. That's right. Okay.
Scottie Pippen didn't go to Syracuse.
No, he didn't, and I didn't listen. He has his wife also has a law name. I don't remember her name.
His wife is also on again, off again with Michael Jordan's kid.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
So let that sink in.
Larsa, that's her name.
That's a weird.
That was where my brain went.
Area
I
of
didn't,
very-
I didn't
there-
listen to the full question.
Hold on, pausing the timer. We got 10 and a half minutes left. There's a show out there on Peacock called Traitors. So if you like trash reality television, it's up there. But legitimately, Michael Jordan's kid and Scottie Pippen's ex-wife are on again, off again, and they were dating while they were doing the show, and they were both on the show. It was the most awkward thing in the world. All right, your time is going back right now. Ashok, we're moving on to you.
Yep.
In the Star-Spangled Banner, the adjective perilous is used to describe what word?
How long do I have? Can I sing the whole song?
You got to sing it out loud.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Welcome proudly we hail from the twilight last year.
You're really encouraging people to check out the data corns.
What? Just because I'm messing around with it?
I know, I'm messing with you.
Is it night?
No, it's perilous fight.
Ah.
Perilous fight.
Gosh darn it.
I'm sorry, I distracted you.
Mike,
That's okay. I wouldn't have gotten it anyway.
Mike, which American pop group is the subject of the Broadway hit Jersey Boys?
Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons is correct. Ashok, in the Matrix film series, the main character of Neo was born with what first name?
It's not Keanu. It's Mr. Anderson. Damn it. His name is Mr. Anderson. There's no other first name. His first name is Mr.
That is not correct.
No. I'm going to go with James because I cannot remember what his first name is.
His first, it was a. Go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna say his name is Agent. That's what that made me think of. From Avengers. Anyway,
Preaching to the choir. His name was Thomas Anderson.
No, it wasn't. It's Mr.
Mike, going over to you. Which actor played the bad in the iconic Western The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
Oh, shit. Lee Van Cleef?
Lee Van Cleef is a correct answer.
Speaking of pulling things out of your ass, dear Lord.
Well, I knew. Yeah, anyway.
Ashok, what actress rose to fame for her portrayal of Princess Leia in the Star Wars franchise?
Why can I not remember her name? Give me a second.
He just pulled Lee Van Cleef. Come on.
Hint, it's not Lee Van Cleef.
Seriously, why can't I think? I can think of her face. Carrie Fisher.
There you go. Carrie Fisher's the
Lord,
correct answer.
brain is done today.
Mike, within 3 years either way, name the year these events took place. The Soviet Union launches Sputnik 1. Elvis Presley buys Graceland. And the Mackinac Bridge opens to traffic connecting the two peninsulas of Michigan.
I think Sputnik was 58, so I'm gonna say 58.
You got the points there. 57.
Okay, that was close. Within
Ashok,
3, that counts.
Ashok, This Side of Paradise was the debut novel for which Jazz Age author?
I have no idea. I don't know that book, so F. Scott Fitzgerald.
F. Scott Fitzgerald's a correct answer.
I was just sitting here going, I would probably guess Fitzgerald. I bet that's who it is.
He's also the only jazz era author I know of.
Yep.
Mike, patients who elect to have malar augmentation surgery wish to increase the size of their what? MALAR.
It just makes me think of malaria. Increase the size of their nose. I have no idea. It's not that. I don't know why I said that.
I believe that's a rhinoplasty.
Yeah,
Ashok, do you
exactly.
have any idea for no points?
I want to say I thought it was teeth, but that's not. 'Cause I'm thinking molar, and it's malar. I do know it's pronounced malar, but
Oh, sorry.
yeah,
It's the size of their cheeks.
Wow.
Malar augmentation, the size of their cheeks. Ashok, going over to you. What was the name of the character played by Carol O'Connor in the TV sitcom All in the Family, which debuted on CBS in 1971?
Judy.
No, it's Archie Bunker.
Yeah,
Archie Bunker. Mike, home to a 5,000-year-old stone circle, oh my God, I am way too not here to say this word. Hebrides, Hebrides, islands are located off the coast of what country?
United Kingdom.
I need you to be more specific.
As in, you want
Which country in the UK?
Which country in the United Kingdom?
United Kingdom is a country.
I'm gonna, I didn't give you. There's nothing else in there to get you there. I'm gonna give you the points, but for no points, you want to take a guess.
I would probably just say England.
Scotland, but you're gonna get the points.
Further north. Okay.
Ashok, the Mau Mau were terrorists in what African country in the late 50s and early 60s?
Oh goodness, it's not Nigeria. It's shit. Kenya.
Kenya, believe he got it right. Nicely done.
Nice job.
I know this only because I had family who actually moved to Kenya and was there just as it was about to start, and they booked.
Thank goodness.
I love how you have a Slumdog Millionaire quote for every time you get a really difficult one. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Yep.
Or not a quote, but like a Slumdog Millionaire type story. All right, Mike, we're going over to you. Originating in the UK and Ireland, black pudding features what liquid as its main ingredient?
Black pudding. I doubt it's ink. I'm trying to think of another black liquid. I'll just say ink.
No, it's blood, specifically blood of pork or beef.
Oh, okay.
So-
It turns black because it coagulates and then it hits the air and it turns black over time.
I gotcha.
Ashok, what word could mean any of the following things? An avian structure formerly known as a furcula, a famous Jack Russell Terrier's name, or an innovative football scheme popularly attributed to Emory Ballard at the University of Texas.
Wishbone.
Wishbone's a correct answer. Mike, perhaps one of the most famous European paintings of an animal, the 1502 watercolor Young Hare by Aldrich Duroux, hangs in the Albertina Museum in what European capital city? Duroux.
Because that
Rome.
makes all the difference in the world.
Rome.
Rome is not correct. It's in Vienna, Austria.
Oh, okay.
Ashok, what actor rose to fame portraying the villain Kylo Ren in the Star Wars sequel trilogy?
Oh, dear Lord. I stopped watching movies when I had children because I had children. I can picture his face. He's got the giant nose and the dark hair. He looks goofy.
You're right. It's me. It was me.
To be fair, I just described myself. Giant nose, looks goofy.
Calm down, Cyrano. Answer the question.
Damn it. I don't remember his name. I'm going to pass. His name. You don't have to turn on the red light. Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, you're if you're tapping out, it's Adam Driver's his name.
Adam
Thank
Driver's who we're looking for. Mike, with what jazz instrument is legendary jazz musician John Coltrane most often associated?
Oh, Coltrane is trumpet, I think.
Saxophone.
It is saxophone. Damn it! My first instinct was saxophone, and I rejected it. I don't know.
I
Not
thought
a jazz
trumpet
guy.
too, actually.
Ashok, Sachin Tendulkar is known as the, quote, god of what sport?
Cricket?
Cricket is a correct answer. Mike.
The only god of a sport that could be a brown man.
Right.
Sad, but pretty true.
Give the Indian guy a cricket question. Okay.
I can answer the question very good. Thank you very much. Come again.
All right. Mike. John McCain's wife, Cindy, was the chairman of the board of a company that sells what item that we enjoy here at the Pub Trivia Experience?
I don't know. Beer?
Beer is a correct answer.
I was going to say the
I'm
same thing. I was
enjoying
like,
one
it's good.
now. Is that really it? Okay.
Ashok, the poverty fighting agency Oxfam, OXFAM, was founded in the relative comfort and safety of what English university town?
Cambridge?
No, Oxfam is in Oxford.
It was Oxford.
Mike, which candy bar was originally promoted as, quote, the longer lasting snack?
Candy bar? The longer lasting snack. I have no clue. Wow, this has been a bad round for me. The longer lasting snack. I have no idea. Snickers.
Close. It's a Twix. Twix is what we're looking for there.
Because
Because
there's
there's
two of them.
two of them, I guess.
Yeah.
Presumably. Ashok, last question of the round is going to you. What is the term for the total amount of greenhouse gas produced both directly and indirectly to support human activities?
Amount of
It's a two-word term.
Oh,
That is the total amount of greenhouse gases produced both directly and indirectly to support human activities.
I'm drawing a blank. I'm not sure.
That'd be the carbon footprint.
carbon footprint.
Um,
It's a really. It took me a minute because it's a really. You don't usually hear it described in that
no,
way.
you don't.
Well, coming out of round one, Mike, I've got you picking up 7. Ashok's picking up 8.
Yeah, that was a bad round for me. Ugh.
Your scores right now, it is 12-10. Ashok's got a 2-point lead.
Well, damn.
Before we move into our halftime round, Ashok, I have to give you a second to tell listeners what you've been working on here in the last couple of months.
So I am a child adolescent psychiatrist, and I've been practicing clinically for a good decade and some. And I ran into a lot of questions from kids and families kind of asking the same things over and over again. So I decided to try to provide some good information and, try to give kids and families an opportunity to kind of learn about mental health and mental health care in a pretty easy way. I started a podcast called Ask Child Psych. It's available on Podbean as well as on Apple, Amazon, and I think Podchaser as well. But they're short, anywhere from 5 to 6 minute long to maybe about 20-minute long episodes talking about various aspects of mental health care. So for example, one of the early episodes talked about who do you see in mental health. So whether you see a psychiatrist versus a psychologist versus a therapist, what that means, talking about what confidentiality is, and a variety of other things, with the plan to talk about, what does it look like when someone has depression? How do you help support somebody? Eventually I want to break into talking other diagnoses and treatment options, but they're all available. They're free. They come out weekly on Wednesdays. But the title is Ask Child Psych.
And the show is extremely informative as a parent. I've listened to them, and not just as a parent, but like informative for my own inner thoughts. It's a phenomenal show. Very happy to be promoting here on the Pub Trivia Experience. For those of you with kids, and those of you who want to learn more about just how your mind freaking works, worth every second.
Yep.
Well, we are moving on to our halftime round. Halftime, you're going to have four. There's going to be four possible answers. Each correct answer will get you 5 points. You will lock in when you're ready. Here is your halftime question. 6 of the top 10 best-selling beer brands in the U.S. for the year 2022 were Heineken, Coors, Miller Lite, Corona, just Miller, Corona, Modelo, and Dos Equis. The other 4 all belong to Anheuser-Busch. Name those 4 beer brands. And I will remind you, while one of those was Miller, that is inclusive of Miller Genuine Draft, Miller Lite, and all other Miller products. The same thing goes for Coors Banquet versus Coors Light. They're all categorized under the Coors label. So we're looking for the 4 that are missing from this list that are made by Anheuser-Busch. Lock in when you're ready.
I'm going to write this down so I actually can...
Chris, can you list the 6 again?
Mm-hmm.
The 6 that are not Anheuser-Busch are Heineken, Coors, Miller, Corona, Modelo, and Dos Equis.
Thank you. I'm sitting here trying to picture the section of the grocery store beer aisle that I always walk past.
Before you go and grab your craft beer from the cooler?
Exactly. The beers that we all walk by.
Yeah. Hold on. Don't act like you might have been too good for this, but I went to school in Tallahassee, Florida. I was never too good for any of these.
Oh, no. My first adventures of drinking were definitely with whatever we can get our hands on. So yeah, totally understand.
What?
See, I was almost a pure liquor guy in college. It just got you there quicker, and I didn't like the taste of the light beers and all that kind of stuff. So
I went straight to beer. I didn't do anything else.
I
tried
started
a glass of champagne, couldn't stand it. I
else.
tried wine, couldn't stand it. All beer.
I remember my first night of college. I got handed my first beer.
Which one was it? Was it an Anheuser-Busch one that you can use to answer this question?
It was, if I remember correctly, it was a Coors Light.
So no.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that, though, Ashok, because it made me think of the first beer that I was handed in college, and that gave me my number 4. So I'm locking in.
All right, I'm locking in 4. I don't know if I got them all, but I'm locking it in.
We are going to go through this here. Ashok, go ahead and give me your 4.
I have Michelob, Dos Equis, Stella, and Budweiser.
Mike, give me your 4.
The first 2 I wrote down were Budweiser and Bud Light, and then you had the clarification. So I just locked in with Budweiser for my first. Michelob. I can never remember whether it's Blue Moon or Shock Top that is actually a Anheuser-Busch, but I went with Blue Moon. And then the aforementioned beer that was the first beer that I had when I was in college, and which taught me that I don't particularly care for the cheap light beers, was Busch Light. So I locked in with Busch.
All right. Well, we got some points to divvy out here. The number 1 selling beer is everything under the Budweiser brand. I think that was pretty clear.
Yep.
Yeah.
You both picked up on Michelob as well. Mich Ultra is huge, and also Michelob Amberbach is actually really good too.
Yep. Actually, I do dig on some Amberbach. I can drink that beer. I can
I've
drink Ultra too.
had
if
a
I wanted to
Michelob
drink
beer.
flavored water.
So
Michelob had it. There was a Mich Ultra Red, Mich Ultra Amber that I actually, for a while there, was one I would have a lot of because it was not like a regular light beer.
That was actually pretty good too.
The next one on the list, Mike nailed it. It's Busch. So Busch beer came in at number 6 on the list. It is the number 1, what they call the sub-premium beers. It's the number 1 sub-premium beer brand in the U.S. You know what number 2 is? Was number 7. It'd be Natty. Natural beer. Natural Natty Light.
Natty. I actually changed Natty to Busch, so I would have gotten the points there either way.
You would have. I almost said this in there, but when I was in college, there was a bar down the road, which, by the way, we went back there over the last weekend. College is way different now because that is not a little dive bar anymore. They got flat screen TVs everywhere, really good chicken wings. When I was there, I could walk in there and get a $2.50 pitcher of Natty Light. So,
yep.
Mike, you're going to pick up 15. Ashok, you're going to pick up 10.
Okay.
Your score is 25 to 22. Mike has got a 3-point lead, which means, Ashok, you get to pick. Do you want to go first or second in hot seat round 2?
I will go second.
Mike, you're going first. Your time will begin after I read your first question. Here we go. Mike, what actor appeared in the TV show Pee-wee's Playhouse and in the films Apocalypse Now and The Matrix?
I'm just going to pop this real quick. My second monkey knot, and then I'm going to say Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne's a correct answer. Cheers. My second, whatever this is.
German beer.
Random German beer. Ashok, in which work by Emily Bronte would you find the character named Heathcliff?
Not the cat.
No one should
shoot. Oh, it's the Heights one. Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights is correct.
The Heights one, I love it. In the Heights.
He doesn't like musicals, Mike. We can't talk about In the Heights. Oh, Mike, you're going to be my experiment here because you're going to fill in the missing letters from this European capital city. The capital of Bulgaria is blank, OFI blank. What 2 letters are missing?
Oh, shit.
Actually, one I
I'm
know.
very bad with world capitals. I feel like for whatever reason that I would never have pulled it without it, but for whatever reason, Sofia popped into my head as the capital of Bulgaria. So I'm going to say the missing letters are S and A.
S and A are a correct answer. Sophia is what we're looking for. Nicely done.
Sophia the First.
Ashok, as part of a recent culinary trend, locavores, Locavores, adhere specifically to a strict diet featuring what?
Is it featuring locally grown food or locally sourced foods?
Locally sourced foods is correct. Nicely done.
I was debating between trains and crazy people.
No. The crazy people are what we send out from the psych wards.
There's a meme that I saw online today, and it was a cat sitting on a subway, and it says, God, I hope this is a regular train. And then it cuts to the next line. They're playing Crazy Train, and he goes, oh, hamburgers. Mike.
I.
Mike, in 1981, Ronald Reagan fired nearly 11,000 PACO members who were on strike. What profession did they have?
Were those the air traffic controllers?
Air traffic controllers is correct. Ashok, we're going back to octopus here. How many hearts does an octopus have?
Isn't it 2?
Octopus has 3 hearts, actually.
Oh, that's right.
3 hearts, blue blood, weird-ass creatures. Don't go in the ocean, folks. Mike.
They're the Doctor Who of the sea.
Mike, in pregnant women, what is the name of the thin, fluid-filled membrane that surrounds the fetus?
It surrounds the fetus. Is it the amniotic sac?
That's a correct answer.
Okay.
So,
I was like, well, the fluid's amniotic fluid, so is the sac called the amniotic sac?
I have it just as amnion. Ashok, maybe you can provide some more clarity there.
The amnion is the name, but the amniotic sac would be totally fine.
That's kind of where I was at as well. So, Ashok, we're going back to you. Mike's getting science questions. Ashok, you're getting more Star Wars questions. Released after both of them, what Star Wars film bridged the gap between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope?
I know the original trilogy, and that is all I know. I'm thinking, is Revenge of the Sith, blank, and New Hope. And what's the... Is it Rogue One?
It is Rogue One.
Oh,
Nicely
we got it.
done.
Good job.
I had to think of, like, what were the movies? I was thinking of all the names. Like, the only one that I remember is Rogue One. I don't know where that one goes.
Tim Dipple can catch his breath now.
Timmy D just sitting there sweating that one. Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Tim.
The word discotheque comes from a French word that means what?
Dance club?
Oh, no, record library, actually.
It really stands for outdated music.
Nope.
Ashok. In 1992, Vice President Dan Quayle gave a famous speech about urban America in which he cited the single mother title character of what TV sitcom?
Roseanne? No, Roseanne was a single mother. What the hell am I saying?
Oh, it's Murphy Brown. I gotta go with your first answer.
No, you're totally fine. It's like, ugh.
Mike, the stripes on the competitors might tell you that Louisiana's Angola Rodeo is held annually in what type of place?
Who did what now in the who? What?
Pretty much.
Stripes?
The stripes on the competitors might tell you that Louisiana's Angola Rodeo is held annually in what type of place?
There's something in this that I am missing. I'm going to say a prison.
Prison is a correct answer.
Like the last second, I was like, maybe it's like the stripes on. Okay, yeah, all right.
Wow.
Good call.
Good pull, Mikey. I don't know why I called you Mikey. First time in like 30 years or 10 years.
Hey, Mikey, he likes it.
He does. All right, Ashok. Which NBC TV series set in a fictional hospital in Chicago became the longest-running primetime medical drama in TV history while also garnering 23 primetime Emmy Awards?
Was that ER?
We don't need McDreamy or McSteamy. We got George McClooney. ER is a correct answer. Mike, what is the smallest planet in our solar system?
I'm going to assume that this question was written post 2009 or whatever that was, and so in that case, I'm going to go with Mercury.
Mercury is correct. We will not be asking Neil deGrasse Tyson for his opinions. Ashok, what species of bird are Gentoo, chinstrap, and Adelie? Adelie. Adelie.
Chin straps or penguins? I'm going to go with penguins.
Penguin is a correct answer.
I heard Adele made me think of Adele. I was like, songbirds?
Mike, ironically, not the Charleston. What is the beach-friendly state dance of South Carolina? And if you get this wrong, Turner will have to go ahead and just yell and scream.
Wait, so you said ironically not the Charleston?
Correct. Not the Charleston. What is the beach-friendly state dance of South Carolina?
I'm trying to name a beach-friendly dance. The hula?
No, this would be Austin Powers' favorite dance. The shag, baby. It's a really bad dance. Austin Powers. The shag is apparently a dance. Ashok.
Okay, cool. Sorry, Turner.
I know it's a carpet, but I didn't know it was a dance.
How many times were the Texas Rangers one strike away from winning the 2011 World Series during Game 6?
You're asking the baseball game.
I am literally reading down a list, sir.
Oh, I know. How many times were they one strike away from winning Game 6?
They would have won the entire 2011 World Series had they won Game 6. So how many times were they one strike away from winning the game and thus the World Series?
I'm going to say something outrageous like 5.
Oh, no, it was 2.
It's just 2. Fucking David Freese, man. I was texting with it I'm sorry. I remember I was messaging my very good friend of mine from high school, Lori, who was 8 months pregnant at the time, huge Rangers fan, and she was just like flipping out the whole time during all of that thing. And I was just like, "Oh God, please don't go into labor during the World Series because of this."
I mean, I wasn't pregnant or anything, but I remember the NLCS with Alex Gonzalez, and he's 100% the reason why the Cubs lost that one, and nobody else is to blame. Mike.
Yep, fair enough. Entirely different season, but still.
Mike, what team won the Super Bowl in all of 1993, 1994, and 1996?
The fucking Dallas Cowboys.
He gets a baseball question, you get a Cowboys question.
They beat the Bills in 93 and 94, and I'm still mad about that.
Yep.
Oh boy, I love losing Super Bowls. Ashok.
Yeah. In
Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, the Cheshire Cat leaves behind what conspicuous feature when it disappears?
Its smile.
Leaves behind its smile. That's correct. Mike, what are the 5 colors of the Olympic rings?
Oh, fuck. I always mess this up. Red, blue, yellow, green, black.
That is a correct answer. Ashok, what famous landmark was shipped to the U.S. in 350 pieces aboard the French freighter Azare?
The Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty is correct.
Le fromage! You see
Mike,
that commercial, right? Sorry.
Mike, in what year did all of these events take place? Jimmy Carter became the 39th president. Star Wars is initially released. And the Trans-Alaskan oil pipeline officially opens.
I don't get a 3-year buffer on this one, huh? I don't need it. It's 1977, but still.
I heard 1997, and that would not be correct. 77 is right, though.
I did start over myself. That is true. But I corrected myself before.
You did. You got the points. Ashok, Snow White had 7 friends who were dwarves. Name 5 of them.
Happy, Sleepy, Dopey, Sneezy, Doc.
Shocking that you ended with Doc. That is a correct answer.
Sleepy, happy, grumpy, nobody sees bashful Doc.
Yep.
Mike, the first Airstream trailers were made out of which durable material before the shiny aluminum became their standard?
Fuck, I was going to say aluminum. Dang it, I'm so hung up on aluminum. I can't think.
It's aluminium, Mike. Say it right.
Aluminium. Lead.
I'm sorry. That's
no.
Not lead.
I just think it would be hilarious if it was lead. I have no idea.
No, they're made of wood. Not lead.
No.
That makes a lot more sense.
You think? Ashok, we're going to you.
Wood for him, but definitely not lead.
Ashok, what author penned the children's book Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
Wasn't that Roald Dahl?
Was Roald Dahl. Mike.
Point of order. No author penned Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but Roald Dahl did write Charlie.
Okay, sorry. My apologies to the pedantic.
I'm a pedantic asshole. I'm sorry. Continue.
Mike, just for that, you get this question. What classic TV sitcom popularized the exclamation Shazbot?
I mean, when I think of Shazbot, I don't necessarily think of it as a super popular exclamation, but I think of it as something that is said on The Simpsons.
Prior to The Simpsons, more
Was
calling
Mork
Orson.
Mindy?
Come in,
Yeah,
Orson.
Mork and
Mork
Mindy.
and Mindy's what we're looking for.
Yeah, I knew it. As soon as I said it, I was like, fuck, that was on Mork and Mindy. Yep.
Ashok, which of the following cities is the furthest south? New York City, London, or Paris?
It's not London. I want to say it's New York City.
New York City is the correct answer.
Well,
Mike, what part of a horse's leg is equivalent to a human's ankle? Rowan Ward is rolling their eyes at you right now.
yeah, Rowan, I'm sorry. I know nothing about horses. And I didn't even know that their ankles weren't called ankles. I have nothing.
Maybe it's because horses are fat and they're all cankles.
They could all kick my ass. No, it's a hawk.
Oh, I've actually heard of the term hawk. Okay,
Uh-huh.
Usually
Did not
referred to as
associate it with that
pig.
part of
You
the
think
body.
of
Okay.
ham hocks, not horse.
Yeah,
hocks.
which is more like upper. That's like the thigh area. That's higher in the leg, I thought. But anyway, I could be wrong on that too.
All right, I will flag that one. We'll look at it before we leave. Ashok, going over
No, I
to
would
you.
get it wrong either way. I wouldn't worry about it.
Whose body was buried in the Smithsonian in 1905, making it the first time the British gent who founded the museum ever visited the United States?
James Smithson?
James Smithson is a correct answer. Mike.
Bold going for the first name too. Respect. Like it's just Smithson. I would be like, oh, Smithson. I would have never pulled the first name. Well,
Mike.
I actually went to the Smithsonian and saw it, so that's the only reason why I kind of knew it as a kid.
Gotcha. That'll do it.
Mike, we're going back to, not to Broadway, but to music and to film. Who starred as Eliza Doolittle in the 1964 musical film My Fair Lady?
We're looking for. Yeah, never mind. I'm not going to make that joke. Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn is the correct answer. I did not write down who went first that time.
Mike went first.
Okay, so Ashok,
Yeah.
you get one last question. Ashok, here is your final question. Triskaidekaphobia is the fear of which of the following? The number 13, stepping on cracks, or walking under ladders?
13.
13 is a correct answer.
I don't know if I'm more angry that you got that question or that he gave you multiple choice.
Do you have triskaidekaphobia, Mike? Is that why you know?
Yes.
Here's the ironic thing. Ashok, by getting that question right, you finished with 13 points in the round.
I love it.
I win!
Mike, you're coming up with 9. So our scores are going to be 34 to 35.
I'm down 1 if you picked up 4. God, I did not feel like that round was nearly as bad as the first round, but I guess it was for me. All right.
34 to 35. Mike is trailing 1 as we head into the wager round. Here is how your wager round is going to work. I am going to give you 3 categories. You can wager in any way, shape, or form that you want, but you're wagering strictly on the categories given. Break up your points if you want. If you get the question right, you'll get the points. Get the question wrong, you'll lose the points. Your only rules are 1, you must wager whole numbers only or 0. 2, you cannot exceed the amount of points you currently have. And 3, no negative wagers. Someone tried that once, not going to fly here. It was probably Mike.
I'm the problem. It's me.
No arguments here. Here are your 3 final round categories. Number 1 is organized crime in the United States. Number 2, alternate literature titles. And 3, European history.
Hey, trivia lovers. Want to get the pub trivia experience in an interactive way? Check out Liquid Courage Entertainment. With a wide range of offerings online, LK has you covered, streaming a wide variety of trivia games on Twitch with one-of-a-kind formats like Tringo, Guesstimate, Mega Sheep, and more. Or check out the World Trivia Federation. With 36 hours to answer each quiz and no obligation, the WTF is the perfect solution to scratch that trivia itch on your own time. Come see us at twitch.tv/liquid_courage or check out patreon.com/liquidcourage to join the WTF for as little as $2 a month. That's Liquid Courage with a K. Innovative, interactive, intoxicating.
Our wagers are locked in. Here are your questions. Question number 1, your category was organized crime in the U.S. Considered by many to be the father of organized crime in the United States, this alliteratively nicknamed mobster got his start in the infamous 5 Points Gang in New York before becoming a major player in the development of the National Crime Syndicate and the first official boss of the Genovese crime family. He was convicted of running a prostitution ring in 1936, but during World War II, his sentence was commuted on the condition that he provide wartime naval intelligence and accept being deported back to Italy. Name this mobster.
I'll lock in.
Do we need a name first and last name, or can we just do one name?
Last name is fine.
Okay, thank you. Locked in.
Question number 2, your category, alternate literature titles. To Write It Truly and Love is Hunger were alternate titles for what author's book, A Memorable Feast, that detailed their life as a struggling journalist and writer in Paris in the 1920s.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Question number 3, your category is European history. In what country did a revolutionary assembly called the National Assembly meet on a tennis court after it was kicked out of its original meeting place in 1789? No word on if this court was made of clay.
Locked in.
Locked in.
All right. We're going to go question by question through this, starting with question number 1. Considered by many to be the father of organized crime in the United States, this alliteratively nicknamed mobster got his start in the infamous 5 Points Gang in New York before becoming a major player in the development of the National Crime Syndicate and the first official boss of the Genovese crime family. He was convicted of running a prostitution ring back in 1936, but during World War II, his sentence was commuted on the condition that he provide wartime naval intelligence and accept his deportation back to Italy. Name this gangster. Mike, your answer and your wager.
I feel like I don't know a whole lot about organized crime in the United States, so I wagered 0 on this one, but my guess on this was that it was Lucky Luciano.
Ashok, your answer and your wager.
Wager was 10, and I also had Luciano.
Lucky Luciano is a correct answer. Ashok's picking up 10 points. It's going to bring you to 45.
Nicely done.
Fun fact, by the way, he was deported back to Italy, died in Italy, so he was born and died in Italy, and then the U.S. allowed his remains to be brought back to the United States to be buried, which was...
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We're moving on.
A dead gangster than a live one, I suppose?
I guess.
He wasn't using his remains anymore.
That's a good point. Question number 2, your category was alternate literature titles. To Write It Truly and Love is Hunger were alternate titles to what author's book, A Memorable Feast, that detailed their life as a struggling journalist and writer in Paris in the 1920s. Ashok, starting with you, your answer and your wager.
I didn't have an answer. I didn't know the answer to this, but I wagered 10.
Mike, your answer and your wager.
Well, of the 3 categories that I did not feel good about, this was the one I felt the least not good about. So I went all in on this one. and got very fortunate that in addition to hearing Pete Postlethwaite saying, let's get this movable feast underway in Jurassic Park Lost World, I also know that A Movable Feast was written by Ernest Hemingway, so I locked in with Hemingway.
Hemingway is a correct answer. Ashok, you're going to lose 10. Mike, you're going to pick up 34, which gives Mike a 68-35 lead going into the final question. Your category was European history. In what country did a revolutionary assembly called the National Assembly meet on a tennis court after it was kicked out of its regular meeting place in 1789? No word to this day on if that court was actually made of clay. Mike, your answer and your wager.
Well, 1789 clued me to France, and then the clay thing made me think, I think the French Open is the one that's played on clay of the 4 tennis majors, so I said France.
Ashok, your answer, your wager.
15 in France.
France is a correct answer, and that means with a final score 68-50 on some smart wagering, Mike, you're picking up the win tonight. Nicely done.
Nicely done.
That was a good last round.
That was. I mean, that whole match was tight. Nobody was up by more than a couple of points till the end.
It was back and forth.
You owned the hot seat rounds.
I shouldn't have wagered on alternate lit titles. I shouldn't have wagered anything. I debated putting nothing on that one, and I said, "Nah, I'll try it."
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't hurt. It's a freaking trivia podcast. There's 0 stakes. Go all in. Have the slice of cheesecake. You're gonna be just fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Wagering is notoriously has often been where I've lost going in leading, and I've lost on the wager rounds. So,
like, you say that.
Recently, that trend has reversed,
which
has been a very pleasant change of course. But
well, Ashok, you're going to get your chance at revenge because later on this week, over on our Patreon feed, we're going to drop a revenge game where you get your chance. You're going to pick between a series of categories. You're going to try and beat Mike in a head-to-head mini game. If you want to hear that, patreon.com/PTEBB is your home for all of our bonus content. It's out there. We're dropping it throughout the month. But before we sign off, let's give our contestants one last time to shout out any causes they believe in, any local companies they're passionate about. Mike, we're going to start with you tonight. What do you think?
Well, Ashok already talked about the Datacorns, which is something that, of course, is very, very near and dear to both of our hearts. Beyond that, and I got the shout out straight to Ale2 with their Monkey Knot beer. So in terms of local companies there. So beyond that, I would just say it comes up very often on this show, but just, don't be a dick, be kind to other people, and give people the benefit of the doubt sometimes that they don't necessarily. A lot of times you'll think somebody's being a dick, and they actually just need to be, brought into the light a little bit, I guess I would say, on something. So that would be my message, I think, ultimately. But I'm also several beers in, so that might be incoherent.
To quote Cedric the Entertainer in a movie of the same name, hey, be cool. Ashok, going to you, sir.
So, as Mike mentioned, we got the Datacorns, which, we're on all the major streaming sites. We're on iTunes. There's a Facebook page dedicated to us. So check it out. See what people think. We hope you enjoy the music. The other thing was we talked about the Ask Child Psych podcast. Again, that's focusing on mental health, and that is available on Apple as well as Amazon and Podbean. And because we are so close to the beginning of May, and it's a very important month because that's Mental Health Awareness Month, so it ties right into the podcast. So I just want to put a couple of shout outs for Mental Health Awareness Month. Check in on your friends, check in on people. You never know who needs that support and that help. And 2 big things. One, if you ever find that you or somebody you care about needs help, you can always call the National Suicide Hotline, which is 1-800-273-TALK. Or you can dial 988, which is the national crisis line for counselors or therapists who can communicate and talk to you 24 hours, 7 days a week, completely free. The other one that I want to advocate is the Trevor Project, which focuses on LGBTQ youth. And again, they have counselors that are available for support. So if you know somebody who identifies as LGBTQ and really feels that they need that support, they need someone to talk to and they're not safe, Trevor Project is a huge one that I strongly advocate and strongly support.
We are big supporters of the Trevor Project here at the Pub Trivia Experience. If you don't know, not just on the show, but in our personal lives as well. So I would encourage,
Amen.
if you want to support them financially, do so. But if you need their help, call them. We are going to go ahead and wrap it up for the night. Mike, you're the winner. Ashok, we're going to see you here on our next recording. You're going to get some revenge.
Let's do it.
Until next week for the Pub Trivia Experience, I have been Chris.
I've been Mike.
I've been Ashok.
We'll see you next time. Until then, have a good one.